Hi everyone, I'm Ilka Oster. Welcome back to our relationship series.
And I'm Jo Drennan. Today we're talking about the honeymoon effect.
What
it is.
What is it?
Yeah. what it is, why we lose it, and can we keep it forever?
So what is it, Jo?
Well, it's interesting because I'm probably in the thick of it right now. Well, it's that awesome time in your life when you're in the beginning of a relationship and you feel amazing. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. So you're really... Tell us more.
Well, it feels amazing to be with the other person, and they make me feel great. I know you're going to tear me to shreds on that one. Come on, give it to me.
Well, for someone who's been married 21 years, it's like, really? No, I do believe you can keep it alive, but we'll get to that. I think, that's the concept, isn't it? We've been talking about that in our last podcast, that this awareness that we are creating our own feelings. We create our own thoughts in our head, and then that creates our own feelings. When you go into a relationship and it's all exciting and they're saying nice things and they're giving you presents and they're really focusing all their attention on you, it can kind of, it's like it knocks you off balance almost, isn't it? It's like, maybe that's why they say we're falling in love. We kind of, can feel good, but we can forget or be aware that we're creating those feelings ourselves. And then that leads us to the next question, which is...
Why does it fall apart?
Why does it fall apart?
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubting that the intense period of when you first meet someone. Are you through that yet, do you think?
No, I'm still in it.
Yeah,
but an understanding of awareness and that I create my own feelings through my own thoughts. I believe the honeymoon period's going to last forever.
Well, I think it can.
Yeah.
I think it can. It's just... when you first start, there's a lot of focusing on the other person, isn't there?
Yes.
And it's fun to focus on the other person, and I suppose as time goes on, that can start to wear off, and that can be if you haven't been aware that your thoughts are creating your feelings. If you haven't been aware of that at that time when things start to change and perhaps life starts to take over as well, then that's when you can start going, they're not making me feel happy anymore, and they're not validating me anymore, but if you are aware right from the very beginning that they were never doing that, then of course you can keep it going because you're aware that you're in charge of your own thoughts and feelings. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in charge of my own thoughts and feelings. So I like, I think when we talk about falling in love and someone else making us feel a certain way, which we know is not the case, I feel like it's more about them showing me the good things within me, and I'm falling in love with myself, starting to feel really good about myself. But then if they take that away or they stop doing that, what am I left with? I'm only left with my self-love, self-worth that's at my core that doesn't relate to what anybody tells me about myself.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a trap too, though, what you were saying there, because you're still coming from the place of they gave it to you. They gave your self-worth to you. They gave that sense of love to yourself. So when they go away, what are you going to do now?
So it's really about me as an individual in our core, who we truly are, how much we love ourselves. That must take a really strong person.
I think that to be aware does take, it does take a strength, but it takes time too. It takes, for me, it's taken 21 years and I'm still doing it. I'm still trying to be aware of this concept because we just forget every single day. We forget, we forget that even when the traffic piles up, something as simple as that the traffic's not doing it to us. You can feel happy sitting in the traffic or you can feel sad. So it's you doing it to you. And when your husband comes home, it's your choice whether I used to do like, oh, I'm grumpy, here he comes, and he's looking at me a certain way, and then I realised it was all me doing it to me. And so but it's a constant thing. So I think you have to be strong, but you have to be aware, just be really aware. Awareness is the key. Yes. Awareness of this concept that you're doing it to yourself. It's all happening in your own mind and you can change it.
Yeah.
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 So, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's not the easy option.
But congratulations, 21 years recently. You've celebrated your anniversary.
Thank you.
But I've met your husband. He's a cool guy, isn't it? Just that you were lucky. You met the right man.
Yeah, well, I think there's an element of that, and we are compatible and we have things that we have in common and all of those kinds of things. But that doesn't say that he didn't bring up a lot of my triggers, and I had to really learn how to grow as a person to be with him because I wasn't self-aware when we first got married, and I didn't have a lot of self-love. So things that he said, I could take the wrong way, or, oh, you're not validating me, or, one of the funny ones we talked about was, why won't you eat spelt bread? Something stupid as that, because I'm still stuck in, he doesn't trust me or he doesn't understand me or something like that. Like, that's my thought process and my belief system, and that's making me feel bad. And I'm doing it to me. Really, Simon can eat white bread, he has for 20 years, and I can eat spelt bread. It's okay. It's okay. But it took me a long time to learn that. I wanted him to do he should do what I want him to do.
Yeah, and it's never really about the thing that causes the eruption.
No.
It's got nothing to do with the white bread or the spelt bread, really.
It doesn't. But in the moment, because you might be, it's usually from something in childhood. But in that moment, it can seem really important. And that's what we call a trigger. Like, that's a big trigger, but that's normally a really good healing device.
Opportunity.
An opportunity.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess we do get through that initial period of getting to know someone, and then we start to say things that the other person takes a certain way, and so perhaps we could call that like being through that initial honeymoon period when you're just seeing all the wonderful things in one another. But then it becomes a real relationship with this awesome opportunity for self-growth, and as all our close relationships are, an opportunity to live life, to live a magnificent life filled with joy.
Yeah, because every bad thing and every good thing becomes an opportunity to grow more. So, and for me, I think some of my greatest lessons were actually learnt through some of the really hard stuff, actually.
Often that's the case. Hey? Yeah. We get to find out who we really are through the challenging times.
Yeah, and then being able to shift a lot of that gave me strength that I'd be able to do it again and again. And so you move from strength to strength. Yeah, in doing that, in just understanding this process. But it's a lifelong kind of thing. I haven't had a day yet where it's not been something I've had to do. Remind myself.
Yes. So if we want to keep it going, continue it, focus, awareness on the how do I keep this honeymoon period going?
Well, something as simple as when Simon and I went out for tea for our 21st wedding anniversary, we usually do a little bit of reminiscing over when we first met, because that was when we were in the big, the honeymoon phase, and you kind of have quite vivid memories around those times as well. So if you can remember them and talk about them and have fun, it's what you focus on in your mind that, you can sit at your 21st wedding anniversary and have an argument.
Yes.
Sometimes, and I've had that happen too, but it's what you decide that's going to happen, what you're responsible for, and it's being a grown-up. It can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, where you choose to place your attention, where you choose to focus.
Yeah. And thinking about, we discussed some of the early times, but just, talking about things that you have in common with your children, and the fun things that you've done together, and maybe what you want to do in the future that's fun. All those kind of things. Laughing.
Yeah. We grow up and we forget to have fun, don't we? We think it's the realm of children only.
Yes. Yeah, I think, I couldn't have done it without a lot of laughter and a lot of being able to laugh at yourself, I think, is incredibly important. Yes. Yeah, and laugh at the way that you have all these triggers and you have all these things that you've got to grow through and that you've normally got from your own parents. You've got to be able to laugh at that stuff, I think. That's helped me a lot. Yeah. I don't know what I'd do without my sense of humour.
Yes, me too. Sense of humour is a great way to change your state, your thinking as well. I know when I'm down and out, there's two go-to things for me. One is a loud song and dancing and singing loud, or watching comedy.
So, and that could be something too to bring into your relationship to keep the honeymoon phase alive. It's like do the things that you both love to do. So dancing or whatever. Yeah. Find the things that you both are happy
that bring you joy.
Yeah. So what are we talking about next week, Jo?
Next week, well, it is interesting in our society, increasing divorce rates. So we're going to look at arranged marriages. And in comparison to the way we do marriage, romantic love, that kind of thing.
Chemistry,
and is love enough?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Is it enough?
Yeah. Obviously, it's not. But we'll talk some more about that next week.
Okay.
So we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
And inspire someone today.